Hello all, welcome back. I hope you're all doing okay. I'm not sure if this is the same for you, but video games, and well, all art in general, are like the pushing and pulling of tides for me. I reach out, play some new stuff, make some new experiences, and then I pull back, return to familiar and safe spaces. Recently I've been playing Hades, Outer Worlds, Disco Elysium, It Takes Two a little while back. I'll probably talk about those games sometime soon. After that, I started playing Death Stranding again. I pre-ordered and beat it when it first came out, but hadn't touched it since. After the director's cut was announced for PC, and I learned it wouldn't turn my laptop into a nuclear reactor, I bought it and just sat on it for a while. I recently had a need for comfort, so I started playing again. If you need a refresher, Death Stranding is Hideo Kojima's first game post-Konami, and his first non-Metal Gear game in about 25 years. Except for, you know. I'm going to try and explain what happens in this game. I'm sorry if I get anything wrong. I really tried. This is some real fugue state-inducing stuff. Please refer to Donkey's funniest video, wherein he plainly states the events of the Metal Gear series without making a single joke. It is an open-world action game set in the ruins of America, fresh off of a cataclysmic, earth-fissuring event called the Death Stranding. The remnants of the United States government, known as the United Cities of America, have spent the last several years trying to reconnect the country. People now live in isolated underground bunkers in order to escape the near uninhabitable surface world. If a human dies and their body is not burned, the BT turns the corpse into a nuclear bomb, destroying everything nearby and covering the blast zone in timefall, a sort of acid rain that rapidly ages any organic material it touches. The UCA created a logistics company known as Bridges. They deploy porters who deliver packages between the disparate settlements, as well as connect them to the chiral network. This network is like a super-powered version of the internet, and the UCA's main contrivance for reconnecting the country. The chiral network allows everyone connected to it to share virtually limitless amounts of data instantly. People can also share schematics over this network, which allows users to print a vast array of equipment: clothes, vehicles, weapons, machinery, etc. You play as Sam Porter Bridges, the most esteemed delivery boy that Bridges has to offer. It is your mission to traverse the wreckage of the nation, tying knots and running threads between the sequestered survivors, trying to prove to them that people are not meant to live alone. Death Stranding is a huge game, saturated with complex concepts and ideas. This will definitely not be the last time I talk about this game, so for today, we're going to narrow our scope. Let's take a look at the man behind the $500 designer mask. No, not that one. That one. In a game filled with flamboyant and almost unbelievable personalities, Sam is easily tossed to the side. His cold, quiet nature lends itself to projection from the player, which is probably what they were going for. People tend not to enjoy protagonists who come pre-installed with too much personality. A few things we know about him before the end of the game are: he has a history with the people running the UCA and Bridges. He's got some freaky, interdimensional powers that let him come back to life. He really does not like being touched, and he seems to enjoy being a porter, at least parts of the job. He enjoys the solitude. He enjoys the relief after a hard-fought day. He enjoys the tactility of the job. There are no smoke or mirrors in delivering supplies to people that need them. Stuff like chiralium and the beach might as well be magic. Sam knows how to put one foot in front of the other and come through for the people who need him. While it's clear that Sam cares about people, from total strangers to ones he's known for years, his behavior when actually interacting with others is transactional at best. At worst, he's disrespectful and rude. If you take the time to study it, you discover there is a more complex person here than you maybe initially thought. Sam is especially apprehensive when it comes to emotional vulnerability. He shuts down basically everyone at Bridges, but I don't really blame him for that. There are more freaks here than a Ratatouille 18+ roleplay Discord server. The more interesting interaction for me is with the preppers and settlements that he delivers to. Much of the gameplay loop is picking up supplies, taking it to a location, receiving new orders, and taking that to a different location. When you make these drop-offs, you interact with a hologram of whoever is in charge of receiving deliveries at the bunker. As someone who has a very hard time with positive reinforcement, this part of the game is agonizing. I'd rather get my liver pecked out by crows than have to listen to this.
Good to see you safe and sound. I'm glad you're here.
Honestly, Sam, I don't know how you do it.
Excellent job. Thank you.
I'm not the only one who feels like this. Sam does his job and begrudgingly takes compliments from his clients, but is incapable of even touching the people that are closest to him. I really start to feel bad for Sam. It's obvious that he desires connection, but he doesn't have the tools or the confidence to express it. So, I like to browse the videos on the Internet Archive. I should probably use that time finishing the new season of What We Do in the Shadows or Disco Elysium, but whatever. I love weird media. I love recontextualizing things that may or may not have been intended to be art. Internet Archive has a glut of old PSA and public service videos. They are time capsules. They are someone else's memories preserved for me to enjoy. I love trying to put myself in a different time, trying to understand or learn from something I otherwise would never know existed. I found a very resonant short film called If Mirrors Could Talk. It's a PSA for elementary age children about... I don't know, really. I guess it's about understanding how the way people perceive you affects how they treat you, and contributes to a feedback loop that ultimately influences the way you think about yourself. It's a strange one. Part of the message feels like it's teaching kids the importance of self-reflection and identifying their feelings, but it also sounds like they're telling kids that they have a duty to put on a smiling face for society, because expressing negative feelings makes other people not like you. We've really gone through a self-care renaissance in the last couple of years, so some of the scenes here are baffling. I especially love how they say some people are just destined to be menaces. The film examines 3 children specifically. These kids are all wearing different types of clown makeup. This is to illustrate that while the children may not notice that they are acting antisocially, everyone else sees them as a freak. This was all obviously filmed before the golden age of clown girl Twitter that we are currently living in. There are scenes showcasing how each kid's behavior has deviated, and then the kid speaks to themselves in a mirror, reflecting, pun intended, on the root cause for this change. I was mostly watching this out of repulsive curiosity to this point, but the mirror scenes really cut into me. I've been emotionally raw lately, so it's not hard to get a rise out of me, but these scenes really broke the dam. And not necessarily because I was invested in the movie, but because it helped me realize why I've been playing Death Stranding so much.
Am I that sad?
Yes, but you can change if you want to.
How?
Some of the ways are by caring for other people, by not being afraid to talk directly to people, and by feeling good about yourself.
Oh, I'm too scared to do that.
There's nothing to be scared of. Look into your eyes and think good things.
Well, okay. Bobby looks different. Hey, you're right. What you doing?
Look into your eyes and think good things. Life seems so simple to children. Each problem has an obvious and foolproof answer. You don't need to make phone calls to 40 different therapists' offices and pay $150 a session out of pocket because the only person still accepting patients in Los Angeles is out of network. If you feel bad, it's as simple as looking into your eyes and thinking good things. Like a ton of games, Death Stranding tries to make you feel like a hero. You are seemingly the only person with the strength to fix the world. You are an irrepressible source of light, fixing life after life with such simple action. Helping people is supposed to give you purpose. It's supposed to fill you like water fills a pitcher. You're doing exactly what you're made to do. I wasn't feeling full. I had a crack, and I felt guilty about it. I felt broken in the most fundamental way, but didn't know how to express it. I realized I had been wearing the makeup. That should be in present tense. I'm still wearing the makeup. I guess it's helpful to see that now. That was the first step to these kids realizing that something was wrong. I've beaten Death Stranding. I know that Sam ends up alright, but I'm not a porter. I'm not working to restore the glory of the United States government, thank God. I'm just a person who's having a hard time reconciling the decisions they've made with the person they want to be. I'm just someone who doesn't act in their best interests all of the time, and I'm afraid people are starting to think I'm a joke. The story is still developing. I'll give you the facts as they are made evident to me. I've got a few connections I still need to make before everything can be whole again. Thank you all for listening. This is Halloch. signing off.